What is up, guys? It is me, girl Shant'e, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome to the channel. If you aren't, welcome back, and thank you for being so patient with me. I have been gone for like a week, I think. A week, almost 2 weeks. So I know y'all probably like, girl, what is going on? So by the title, I ended up catching what you call walking pneumonia, but the real medical term is called mycoplasma pneumonia. And I ended up catching pneumonia in both my lungs. So it was really, really bad. It almost took me out. It was this close. So I'm gonna try to remember like the timelines or whatever. So I went to Selfie World, and I really think that's where I probably end up, because I was at the outlets. You know, a lot of people, I didn't have a mask on. But we ended up going to Selfie World. I know y'all probably seen that vlog. If you didn't, it'll be in the description below. But we ended up going to Selfie World, and you know, mycoplasma pneumonia is airborne, so I could have very well just walked in the mist after someone coughed, and I probably inhaled, and boom, you catch it in like 24 to 48 hours. So, and that's exactly what happened. So Sunday it happened. Monday I started feeling bad. Tuesday I had gotten a COVID test to make sure I didn't have COVID. Came back negative. Tuesday night I was rushed to the ER because I couldn't breathe. So when I got there, my temperature was 104. When I was home, it was like 102. So, you know, they're automatically, you know, thinking it's COVID. So I got a COVID test, and I got some blood work and some other things. All that stuff came back like not negative, but nothing, like nothing was on it. So it wasn't COVID. So the doctor comes in, he's like, Shant'e, I have no idea what's wrong with you, but I know you have a fever. So they was like, my white is, I think it's my white blood cells or something like that was up, meaning I'm fighting a virus, but well, fighting an infection, but they didn't know what infection I was fighting. They couldn't see anything. So I just kept feeling bad. Like I felt really, really bad. So I went home. I could barely sleep. Like I could barely sleep. So I ended up calling my child's father. He ended up coming to get my son, and he got my son. But Wednesday I ended up getting up, and I still felt bad, so I wanted to go to the hospital, but their waiting period was like 2 hours, and I felt so bad that I couldn't sit for 2 hours. Like I couldn't do it. So I came home to take a breathing treatment to see if it helped me start breathing, because I was breathing back. Like I'm talking right now, I couldn't say like 4 words without running out of breath. Like that's how bad it was. So I was panicking. I really was. I was scared. So Thursday came, I got up, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like I drove myself to the hospital, even though don't do that. Like don't do that. But I couldn't wait for nobody. So I just got up and I drove to the hospital. So I get there, and by the grace of God, I kind of got there quickly. But that's because a normal heart rate is, I think, between 90 and 100. Google it to be sure, but I think it's between, like, the pace should be like 90 to 100 or whatever. Mine was 146, so that was extremely high. That was extremely bad. I could have literally died as it kept elevating. So when I went there and the lady had checked my heart rate or whatever, she was like, we're gonna immediately get you a CT scan just to make sure, you know, nothing is about to happen, like a heart attack or anything. So I went to the bag, got a CT scan or whatever. I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, is that bad? She was like, Shant'e, because my mom's a nurse, she's like, Shant'e, yes, that's really bad. Your heart rate is through the roof right now. So I'm panicking even more. Y'all know I got bad anxiety. So I'm panicking. I get to the back or whatever, the lady, you know, they asked me questions. So she asked, you know, what's going on. So I told her, you know, I was here Tuesday, really yesterday, because I got released like that next morning. So she was like, I told her they couldn't find anything or whatever. So she takes me to the back. They take me to another doctor. They started immediately running tests because my heart rate was really high. And they put me, like, the hospital has different areas where they put different people, and I felt like they put me in the place where people like potentially pass away, because everybody that was in there looked at dead, and I looked at dead too though. But I was like, oh no. So I got IVs hooked up, tubes, and it was just the whole 9 yards. Like, I was hooked up. I was hooked up to everything you can imagine. Just getting blood work after blood work after blood work. They were trying to get my fever down. I got to the point where I was nauseated really, really bad. It was really bad. So the doctor came in and he was like, hey, he was like, you have pneumonia. He said you don't have COVID, but you do have a very, very, very bad case of pneumonia. And he was like, you do have it in both your lungs, which was shocking to me because most people that get pneumonia get it in one. I got it in both my lungs. I had more in my right than my left, but both of them, I had pneumonia in both. So I cried. I just instantly cried because, backstory, my grandfather passed away, but he had other underlying health issues, but he passed away from pneumonia as well in the hospital. So I just was very scared. Like, I started panicking, calling my mama, and I'm just, you know, panicking. And my child's father was there with me or whatever, and he was panicking. He was trying not to show it because he knows if he show it, then I'm just act a fool. But it was bad. The doctor was just like, they didn't really, it was bad. Like, they didn't even know, like, if she was gonna make it for the next, like, they're telling me, but they're not trying to scare me. Like, they're like, you know, we're gonna do this, like, you shouldn't be scared. But they just kept asking about other health issues. They're like, do you have any other health issues? Da, da, da. You know, when people ask that, they try to make sure, so just in case you do, they can kind of try to figure something out to make sure they don't collide. Because if you have other underlying health issues and you have pneumonia, that's a dangerous battle. So thank God I didn't have nothing else wrong with me. I'm completely healthy or whatever. So as they're telling me, but not telling me that you could possibly be out of here, I went crazy. My heart rate was at 120 and it shot up to 156. And my child's father was like, Shant'e, you need to relax. Like, he got scared because he started, like, his eyes got wide because he like, your heart rate just literally jumped up. Like, I'm not lying, it literally jumped up in like 10 seconds. Like, I'm not lying. So at that moment in my head, I'm talking to him. I'm like, you're gonna have to go to the court and get paperwork to get full custody of Junior. Like, don't let him forget me. Like, I was in there boohoo crying. I'm texting my best friend. She like, Shant'e, you know who God is. So at that moment, I started praying and I was just talking to God, and I was just like, all right, big dog, it's just me and you. Whatever it is that you're trying to talk to me about, I'm listening. I felt like he put me in that position because, and this is something spiritual. So if you don't believe in God, you can kind of fast forward on this part. But I felt like this encounter, it was, although I had my mom, my child's father, my best friend, and everybody else, you know, there, I felt like it was just a walk with me and God at this point, because I felt like he's been screaming at me, trying to get my attention and stuff. And I felt like my lesson for this whole situation is, I need you to be there for Shant'e. Like, Shant'e's always there for other people. And now you done got to the point where you're sick. You know what I'm saying? You're sick. Your body, you need to take care of yourself. And it wasn't like take care of your body, because I'm completely healthy. It's just put you first. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that's what the lesson was. I need you to put yourself first. Like, this is the season of putting yourself first, because I felt like he was finna he's taking me into a different season. But I can't always keep putting people in front of me, because it's just like I'm delaying my process. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm selfish, but this year I'm darn sure gonna be selfish. But I felt like God was talking to me, and I also felt like he kind of, my faith for him kind of, it didn't go down, but it kind of was like, it was on the more questionable side, because I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, postpartum, relationship problems, all types of stuff. And I think he was kind of like, I need you to trust me. So I started praying. Where's my phone? I started praying, and I wrote in my phone a paragraph. Like, I started talking to God. I started praying, and I wrote in my phone at like 10 at night. And Thursday night, 10 at night, and I just told God, like, I know you gonna roll me out of here in a wheelchair. I'm gonna be perfectly fine. Everything's going to be perfectly fine. Like, I just started playing my gospel music and listening to him. And it's not because I was in a situation where it's life or death and now I'm calling on God. I talk to God every day. But I think he wanted to really test my faith, because I know God can do things, but that situation kind of brought me even more closer to him, because I could have very well been gone. Like, the doctors were saying it, my child's father was seeing it, my mom, everybody was kind of like nervous because it's called something acid, a liquid acid or something, some type of acid that's in your body, and it has to be between 6 and 18. Mine was 25. It went from 25 to 35 to 27. And when I was just panicking because that had to be down in order for the antibiotics and everything else to be kicking in. Without that down, it's basically like everything they was giving me, it just wasn't working. And I was just panicking because I'm just like, if this gets any higher, that's it. Like, the doctors was coming and they was like, okay, we're gonna give her some more fluids, I was so dehydrated, I was just out of it. Like, if y'all seen me, I looked at dead. My doctor came back in the day before I left and he was just like, Shant'e, you look way better than when you came in. He said you looked it so dead. Like, he was just like, you looked like you had already clocked out. So it was crazy. And I don't know, for me, it just put me closer with God, because it's just like, it was nothing else nobody else could do. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it's like he was telling me, who are you really gonna turn to? Like, who do you really trust in this situation? Like, everybody else around you, that's fine. Yeah, these doctors know what they're doing, but who do you really know gonna pull you out of this situation? So me and him, you feel me? God, we locked in for Showski. But I felt like this situation for me was just a personal journey. Like, it was a personal encounter with God, because I ain't gonna tell y'all everything that happened, but it was definitely a personal encounter. And it was scary because the only person I was thinking about the whole time was my son. And I was really nervous. Like, nervous ain't even a word. Like, I was really shaking. Like, I was scared that I was never going to see my son again. Like I literally closed my eyes and envisioned myself in the casket. It was so bad. Like, I was so scared. It's a lot of stuff that happened that I didn't say to people because I didn't want to make them, scared or whatever. But every night I closed my eyes, I thought that was it. I was so scared to go to sleep. I wouldn't go to sleep till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, because I thought if I closed my eyes, I was gonna die. Like, it was just that bad. But I felt like God unlocked a different strength. I felt like he unlocked a different level as far as my spiritual journey. Like, I don't know, but this is where I've been recovering. And after I wrote the message to God, literally my liquids it's so funny, this is so funny. So I wrote that Thursday and I started panicking Friday, and I'm like, oh my God, my stuff is not going down. Like, I'm gonna be in here way longer. I did end up getting hospitalized. I was in there Thursday to Sunday. So Friday, I'm just panicking. So I just told myself, I was like, you gonna trust God or you gonna keep panicking? What you gonna do? I'm like, bruh, I can't do nothing but trust him. Like, that's all I can do. Like, but it's like don't say it like you being forced. Say it like I really do. Like, so I got to myself and I'm just like, Shant'e, you know who God is, girl. You was raised. Like, come on now. So I just was talking to God, like praying, listening to my gospel music, like. And then literally after I wrote that and I went back to it and I read it again, I said, you know what, God said he gonna pull me through, so I'm not even worried about it. Like, I'm finna get me some rest, because when I get up out of here, I got some stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So literally when I'm saying that, the doctor come in, she was like, oh, did you look at your charts? I'm like, no. She was like, oh, well, your liquid count is at a 6. And I just busted out laughing, and I was just like, okay, big dog, okay, I see you. Okay. So I was just like, ain't nobody but God. She was like, and it's crazy because she was just like, amen. Like, you know how some people, they don't really get into religion, but she was like, amen. So I don't know. It was an experience for me, but it was definitely a scary experience. Like, pneumonia is not nothing to play with, for sure. Like, for sure. That's nothing to play with. I definitely feel like everybody should, have a primary doctor. I definitely feel like y'all still should wear masks in certain places. I'm still recovering. Today was my last day for my antibiotics. it's still gonna take like 3 weeks for the pneumonia to get out my lungs. The antibiotics, what it does is basically your lungs is like a sponge. So basically right now the antibiotics is just kind of sponging out the pneumonia that's in me. The only thing that's gonna happen is I'm going to urinate it out, because I didn't want to use any other term. So I'm gonna urinate it out, and I have been using the restroom a lot, so I know it's working. I do have to get a follow-up and everything, and then I have this breathing little tool that I left the hospital with, and they want me to do that 5 times every hour. So it's been a crazy journey. I'm really just grateful to God that, because pneumonia is contagious until you start taking antibiotics, and I didn't know I had it. So by the grace of God, he covered my son to not get pneumonia, because that would have been a heartbreak for myself, because pneumonia is very problematic in children and elderly, because their immune systems aren't as strong as someone as young as me. So I was just grateful. But that's why I hope my lace ain't been, you feel me? But anyway, but I just had to recover. But we are back for sure ski. We are back. Like, I'm not gonna stop YouTube. Like, that wasn't nobody but the devil. I feel like God has really done a lot of things for me in my life. I'm really excited about a lot of stuff that he showed me on a personal note. But anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I want to say thank you guys so much. We're almost to 300 subscribers. Or are we already? We might already be at 300 subscribers. I might be tripping. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for just staying on this journey with me. Staying subscribed. Staying with your post notifications on, because it's not easy doing YouTube, okay? It's really not. It's not easy doing anything. So for you guys to be on here faithfully, subscribe to my channel, all of that, I'm definitely appreciative. But you know, we finna hit the road, you feel me? Because I'm trying to get to 100K, and that's on per. But I'm proud, I'm happy, I love you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I don't know why you ain't subscribed anyway, but make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn your post notifications on, because the subscribes, love them, but the post notifications, love them even more. Make sure you thumbs this video up, and make sure you comment down below so I know what you need to know, and I will catch you guys on the next go round.